Hey family, welcome back to another episode of Bible in Bed, where I do my Bible study with you. It is not what's the word? No, excuse me. It's like just an authentic Bible study. I want to say that I have read Proverbs before, but I am nearing the end of the year, so we're reading. Okay, here we go. I'm doing Proverbs Chapter 5. It says, it's a continuation of Chapter 4, and it says, "My son, attend to my wisdom and bow your ear to my understanding, that you may regard discretion and that your lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of an adulterous woman drip like a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil." Then it says, "But her end is bitter like wormwood." Okay, so I don't know if you guys have had wormwood, but as an herbalist, wormwood is very bitter, like extremely bitter. It's actually known, it's an herb, it's known to, when you take it to clean your blood and to clean out your gut. Like, that thing is bitter, okay? Dang. That's a really that's a really descriptive way of explaining an adulterous woman. Ouch. And it's sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold of hell. Lest you should ponder the path of life, her ways are unstable. You cannot know them. Hear me now, therefore, O you children, and do not depart from the words of my mouth. Remove your way far from her, and do not come near the door of her house, lest you give your honor to others and your years to the cruel, lest strangers be filled with your wealth and your labors be in the house of the stranger, and you mourn at the last when your flesh and your body are consumed. Okay, so this is saying that if you are not mindful of where you walk, it's possible that you can end up trading your life for something that you don't want. You start living the life that you never expected, and not in a good way. And then those that you traded it with get to benefit from all the hard work and benefits and benefits. And say, "How I have hated instruction, and my heart despised rebuke, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, or inclined my ears to those who instructed me." So it's important that we take heed to what we receive. You know, we are in this era where it's kind of hard to take advice because you don't know who's giving advice to truly help you. Some people are giving advice because they love the satisfaction of, mothering. I don't know if it makes sense, the kind of, excuse me, the kind of term that I'm trying to imply here. So it's like, you know how some people, they'll help you. They're willing to help you, but at the end of the day, they'll walk around and credit themselves for that. Like, they get some kind of feeling off of helping other people, not for truly helping them, but to make themselves feel good. But despite all of that, it's important that we're still taking advice from people. And if I'm reading Proverbs correctly, from then until now, it's obviously talking about wise teachers, wise people who are also in the word, who are governed by the Holy Spirit. Because if you're not talking to people who are governed by the Holy Spirit, they're gonna be talking outside their neck, and you have no idea. Because the enemy has created a tactic where now the people who are betraying you are not necessarily people who don't like you. It's just the people who are closest to you. It's wild. But here in verse 12, what it's telling us is that if you don't take heed to instruction, you're going to regret you didn't. Because it says, how have I hated instruction and my heart despised rebuke, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, and inclined my ears to those who instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. Drink waters out of your own cistern, and running waters out of your own well. Come on, men, listen up. Women too, let your fountain be dispersed abroad, and rivers of water in the streets. Let them be yours alone, and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of your youth. Let her be like the loving deer and pleasant gazelle. Let her breasts satisfy you at all time, and always be enraptured by her love. All right. And why will you, my son, be enraptured by an adulterous woman, and embrace the bosom of an adulterer? For the ways of the man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he ponders all his goings. So God is watching everything, is what Proverbs Chapter 5 is saying. God is keeping an eye on everything. Nothing slips his eyes. He sees it all. And why would you want to allow an adulterous woman to trap you into living a life full of sin, is what this is saying. When you have your wife at home, your husband at home, why y'all so worried being caught up in somebody else's chest when God has already given you your blessing? Okay, we have people out here who are still praying for their blessing. You have yours, but you rather leave yours home and go and enter somebody else's. No bueno, no bueno. God is saying, His own iniquity shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be caught up with the cords of his sin. Mercy. He shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his foolishness he shall go astray. Good job. Well, chapter 6, I think, is for those who are in relationships between a man and a woman. But, excuse me, it could also be interpreted in your relationship with God, because the relationship on earth is a mirror reflection of the relationship we have with God as the church. God being our groom and the church being the bride. And one thing about God is that he does not need to feel like the church isn't enough, because he sacrificed his life for the church. Like, he has a special love for the church, and this is the kind of love that needs to be reflected in marriages. And what I'm noticing about marriages is that, in the beginning it's all cookies and rainbows, and still it can be all the way through your marriage. It's just many people have focused more on the outside beauty, but don't realize that it actually takes a lot of work to ensure that marriage is prosperous. It's easy to bypass the things that are hard to talk about, which causes frustration, which then may lead to people leaving out of their covenant. So Proverbs Chapter 5 is there to remind, well, it says sons, but I think daughters too, because I see a lot of girls doing the same thing. Stick with what you have, all right? Like, what you have is good for you. If it wasn't, God wouldn't have given it to you. And that's the same thing with us. Like, let's stick to what we get from God in terms of, sometimes we may want something and the Lord doesn't give us an answer. We can wait. We can wait. It's hard though, I know, but we can wait. So I think the theme of that is just that. I hope that you enjoyed this Bible in Bed with me, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Bible in Bed. Toodles while I go start my day.